Hello and welcome back to Rotten Block. We obviously need to make a little bit of a starter base now so I don't just live out in a field anymore. And I've been clearing out a bunch of space and gearing up generally just for the beginning of the season stuff. But kind of ironically, we're not actually be building over where I cleared out all that stuff. I'm actually going to be building over here, kind of where I've set up all my initial stuff. And then my mega big project that I'm going to be working on later will be over there where I cleared out stuff. But for what we're doing today, I'm going to be building something that I don't even know for sure. I'm kind of winging some of it, but I do have some plans already. And I was watching Liam's first video. He's a new member on the server. And let me just tell you, his starter base is crazy. Like, literally the craziest starter base I think I've seen anyone make in Minecraft. So you should definitely go check out his video. But he was talking about his method for, like, actually planning out a build, which is generally to, like, draw it out and then build it in Minecraft. And I'm not much of a drawer, so that's never been my way of doing things. But it made me think about, like, what is my way, right? And I do like planning things out, but just in Minecraft itself. So there's sort of two parts of it, right? There's the color portion, which is what I have in my inventory, which I'll place down right now. Now, this here is going to be the general color palette. Now, I think I'm going to have some other like color highlights and stuff, but like the base part of the build is probably going to be along this spectrum. But that's only half of the planning, right? If you know the colors, you can't exactly go and start doing the whole build. The other portion is getting the shape down. And then once you have the shape, then you can just fill in the colors into the shape and then obviously add detailing afterwards and stuff. But we need to work on the shape, which is the next portion and probably the more in-depth portion of it for sure. So instead of doing this in creative or drawing it out like other people might, I am just going to make some big boxes essentially in the world here where I'd like the house to be. And, you know, I want it to be a bit more dynamic than just a normal rectangle of a starter base, right? Everyone does those. So you probably already know a bit of what it's going to look like because of the thumbnail, but I don't know quite at all yet. So I'm going to get to planning out different shapes. Once I've got something to work with, I will bring you guys back and we'll see where that takes us. Hello.
Hello. How's it
How are
going?
you doing? I'm doing good. I've just been planning out my starter base, as you can probably see by the skeleton of a base.
Uh-huh. Got more than I've got going on so far. Nice.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Cool. What theme are you going for? I think you have an idea of what you're doing.
Kinda, yeah. I mean, this is going to be kind of different than what my like main like mega base is going to be. But
Okay.
this I was kind of imagining like a bit of like Italian, like
Like
Italian
Tuscan?
countryside, yeah, something like that. So that's why I was going with the
Cool.
orange roof because I was like that'd be like the
Yeah.
tiled roofs, kind
Oh,
of on the
totally.
coast. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Have you ever been? They have that in places in California too, because I think it's just like good for like heating and stuff like that.
Oh
And
yeah.
that was the first time I have not been to Italy. I've not had the pleasure, but have seen something similar in California, and it's such a fun, like unique aesthetic. It just easy to set stuff apart.
Yeah, I know. I kind of love the aesthetic. I have a Lego set that came out, I think, like last
Ooh.
year. That's got like an Italian Riviera with like the same sort of theme, and I was like, oh, I just kind of love it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Cool. Well, you got good framework. I'm excited to see how it comes together.
yeah. Thank you.
Thanks for showing me around your base. I'm excited to see it come together.
Yeah. Good luck on your journey.
Thanks. Talk to you later.
Bye. So I've been working hard on getting the skeleton of my starter base together, and this is kind of what I got so far. We've got this bigger structure over here on this side with like a ground floor or kind of subfloor, but down like by the water portion over here, which will be like connected up to a basement. And then we've also got another building over here. And then they're connected by this tunnel area that'll be just open for like my horse to go through and people to walk through with a little roof over the top. Yeah, and I kind of wanted it a bit bigger than like a tiny starter base, which is normally what I would do. Because I do want enough space to be able to like do most everything I would need in a season essentially. But I also didn't want it to be like one giant square because I think it's good to try to break it up into separate parts, right? To make it more interesting and not so just flat and the samey all over. So I feel like this is a good mix between the two. I am a bit worried about this side over here that'll be facing this way. I'm not sure what to do with it yet. We could have like a little extra little bit coming out the side, or maybe just the decoration on the wall itself will be able to not make it so flat. We'll have to see. But otherwise, I feel like there's enough details going on that this should be good. Also, something to note, I did want to get the pop of color in here, so I went with an orange roof, kind of like you'd see like in Italy, those like tiled roofs, or elsewhere, anywhere that it's kind of like a hotter climate, I think. A lot of times they do these tiled roofs. I'm planning to mix in some orange sandstone as well, to hopefully give it a more textured look instead of just the acacia, but just to plan things out, we got that here. And then obviously adding texture in the walls and ground floor and stuff like that, and I think I'm even going to shave off some of the ground here so we can have a more foundation down where like this layer of grass is. But now that I've got the general shape down, I think it's good to start placing down the actual blocks we want in the places, and also get some of the kind of texturing done, which in this case is kind of like the windows and the side of the building, because I don't plan on anywhere being like completely flat, right? We'll probably have like windows along this whole wall, so the texture on the wall is the windows themselves. Kind of like if you're making a 3D model, a lot of times, at least in old like video games or stuff, right? Like the windows weren't actually see-through, they were just a texture on the wall. That's kind of what we're doing here, right? The window itself is a texture. And with that, I'm gonna get to it and see you in a bit. Okay, I was going to give a bit of an update of how the build is going, but we have got something way more important. Over by spawn, Nick sent me a picture of a poor donkey in the water, which not only is it something we have to save because I love horses and donkeys and everything and they shouldn't be stranded in the water, but we actually do need a donkey. Oh my gosh, I see him. He's right over there. I should have gone to that portal, to be honest, but that's okay. I'll just swim on over. We've got to help him. That is such a steep cliff. He was never going to make it up on his own. I mean, just look at him. Oh my gosh, how did he get all the way down here? Oh, wait, I just realized I didn't even bring a saddle. Oh my gosh, I was too enamored by the rescue mission that I forgot actually how to rescue him. Oh, that is embarrassing. Okay, rescue mission is taking slightly longer. Okay, I am back with a saddle. Let's go get him. Awesome. I love that horses and donkeys and everything can actually float now when you're standing on them, which is so nice because before it used to be such a pain that you couldn't do what I just did, essentially. I will say this is a pain though. If you didn't know, all donkeys, naturally spawning donkeys, I should say, have the same stats. It's not like naturally spawning horses, which have different stats, but apparently their naturally spawning stat is to not be able to jump 2 blocks. So it's making this a little difficult. Okay, we got it though. Let's get him back to our house. What is going on here? What's going on here?
This is new. Hello?
We're protecting the tunnels.
Oh.
From danger.
Thank goodness. This donkey almost got hurt yet again.
I would like to get a mount at some point.
I know. I didn't have any donkeys. I went on a big journey like the first day to go find donkeys, and there was like none around. I can't believe there was one just at spawn, and I didn't know.
Yeah, wait, is that the one that's been hanging around the island?
Yeah.
Sorry, that's so funny.
I sent
I saw it
her a screenshot a little bit ago.
Yeah, it was like a couple minutes ago, and I was like, I'm getting off work early for this. I'm coming to save the donkey.
That's funny.
Okay, well, thank you for pointing me to the donkey. I'll see you guys later.
Yeah.
Boy.
Goodbye.
Okay, so I made a promise to Nick a while ago that I would make the ultimate mule. Well, actually, originally it was the ultimate worst mule, but now it's got to be the best mule ever with the max stats and everything, which fortunately this wild horse that I found has amazing stats. I don't think I've showed this yet. He's very fast. He has a perfect 30 HP, which is like crazy for a wild horse. I've never seen that before. That's like the max that you can get in general, even with breeding. Not quite the fastest speed. His jump isn't great, but his speed's like pretty good. So his HP's fantastic, his speed's really good, his jump's like mediocre. But I feel like it'll be a good starting spot so that we can actually get mules. And maybe we'll get ourselves a mule too, and we can have like a mule shop maybe or something. I think you can't put horse armor onto mules, but you can still put chests onto mules like you can with donkeys. Yes, little guy. But okay, now that I have saved that guy, I can actually talk about my progress with the build. I wanted to share a bit of progress before I just continue doing too much. This is, I think, a good stopping point. I filled in all the walls. I filled in the roof. If we go into free cam up here, I've also got an area down here, which maybe we'll go down to. We've got this little basement area. And I'm trying to still figure out exactly what I want to do here and around and everything. But what I want to start doing now that I've got all the walls filled in, essentially, is I want to start adding details. Because right now, it's pretty plain. And this could be the end result of a build, right? It's got, like, the floors, it's got walls, it's got everything a build could technically need. But I want to give it life. Little, like, things scattered about, some nice pathing around here. I want a lot of terraforming to be done because I want the ground to be up here and not down there. And also the terrain's got to go up for the big project that we have. So we're going to have to do a lot of terraforming. We're going to have to do pathing, detailing, make it feel full of life. I want to put a tree over on this side. So yeah, that is what I'm going to be doing, and I will see you guys in a bit. So I think I am pretty much done here with the build. I say pretty much because there's still some things I want to do, but I have to get this video out at some point. So I'm declaring it good enough, at least for now. We'll probably work on some more of it in the next video, but I kind of wanted to show the detailings that I got now. I added a pier out here. I've been doing lots of fishing, as you saw in my first video, and it's not in that barrel. I should really put in that barrel. My fishing stuff is now over here. We've got this little basement area, got a canal running through it now, which is something I want to add like a little boat over here. I imagine like you'd move like the plank out of the way, and then you might take this boat out, whoever owns this place. I guess it's me. I own this place. That'd be my boat that I would have in there, and I could theoretically, if you use your imagination, take out the boat, because, it's Minecraft, and I'm not going to put just like a Minecraft boat in here. I'm going to build a boat. There's a couple things from up above that you can see down here, which I'll fix when we actually get the boat in here. I feel like I'll do some more detailing. But let's actually go up there, because we can see interior work that I've done. So this is what it looks like coming on into here. We've got a lot of chests, which is great. Hopefully this will tide me over for the whole season. Normally when I get like lots of blocks, I'll start using like shulkers to hold like even more in one chest, which will hopefully work. I got to get my hands on shulkers and like elytra and stuff. Everyone else has all these things. I don't yet. But I got like a little crafting station over here, which has got pretty much everything I could need. But it didn't have quite literally everything, and so that's why I added this section over here where I've got an ender chest and some furnaces. So I've got some extra hidden things in, and then I've got this lovely fireplace, which I am kind of in love with, just like the simple design of it. I forget where I saw these couch and chair designs, but I loved that too, so I threw that in here. And then I haven't quite decided what to do over on this side yet, which is where we're going to need to do a bit more work. I've just got my bed off to the side for right now, but in the future, maybe there'll be a proper bed area or just something else in the little like alcove. Same with this section over here, and maybe it doesn't need anything, but I feel like this corner needs like maybe a little desk or table just with like flower pot on it, or I don't know. I haven't quite figured it all out yet. But I feel like this room is almost done. with just a little bit more. And then the room over on this other side just has a little enchanting area, and it is not nearly as decorated because I didn't know how I wanted it to look, but I just needed to throw my enchanting stuff somewhere, so it's here for now. But let's actually go take a look outside. And here is a flagpole, which we'll talk about in just a second. I'm unsure if I like it or not. Please tell me down in the comments what you guys think. I don't know how I feel about it quite yet. But if we come around this way, there is this glorious tree. We can check it out in free cam too. It's a little bit different than my normal trees. It's maybe a bit bigger than my normal trees. It's split at the bottom, which was something very different for me. I actually struggled with the couple initial versions of how the leaves would look, but I feel like this looks pretty good. It might be even too dense for leaves. I might need to go in and just break some leaves to make it a little bit less dense. But I mean, there is a good amount of air in there. So it's not like it's literally stocked full. And I feel like it's got a good realistic sizing compared to the house. That was something I was trying to focus on. But actually, let's go back to free cam and we can look at this flagpole. This is kind of the view that I've been looking at and I've been really loving. And I thought I wanted to add something a little extra. And I use this flag on some of the plans I have for my mega build back there. But I don't know if it fits here. Mostly because after I added it, I'm like, this looks like a military installation. Like, I don't know. I don't know if anyone's personal house that has a flagpole like that. Like here in the US, you know, someone might have like a flagpole coming off like the side of their front porch, like in a diagonal like that. But I've never seen someone with like a pole like this. And it just makes me think like military building for some reason. So I might have to get rid of it. But please let me know what you think, and if it's good, if it's bad, yeah. Also, let's make our way over to the front over here because we've done a little bit of decoration. Just some bushes. We've got this little fountain, which I'm in love with. I feel like I did a good job with the detailing on such a small scale. I tried with flowing water instead of the glass panes here, but it was just too thick and like big. I wanted something thinner. And smaller for the tiny fountain it is. So I use glass panes. And I feel like it looks really, really good. And then it's got like actual water down here that it meshes with pretty well, I'd say. Another thing, you can kind of tell like around the building, it's kind of like rough and bushes are kind of jagged and whatever. And it looks very lived in, right? But you can tell whoever lives here, which I guess is me, likes to keep their front entrance kind of looking like professional and tidy. So that's what I've tried to do here. I've tried to make it look like, you know, someone wants it to look nice when you're coming in through the front door, which would be this. And then maybe they haven't quite taken as good care on other sides, which this side, I'm realizing now, I have kind of forgotten to do much of anything. I put the chimney over here, which was a good way to break up this wall that I was worried about. But I didn't quite finish this side because I had some plans of maybe another tree. And also like maybe a field of flowers over here. And there was a lot of extra things I could be doing that I just don't think I have the time for. At least not yet. Maybe next video we'll get to some of these extra detailing things. But otherwise, I mean, the build is kind of done. And one last thing for this video, I wanted to show you guys. If we come down over this way, past some of the terraforming I've been doing, over here in this hovel, I have been making a bone meal farm, crafting it into bone blocks and just like doing nonsense and slowly building and detailing and whatever has meant that it has built up quite a bit for just being a single little farm over here. It does look like some cobblestone has been made, which is unfortunate. I feel like this design normally doesn't create cobblestone, but I guess I've been here long enough that it did. Okay, I went and fixed that. But with all this bone meal that I've been getting, I thought this might be a good idea to set up a little bit of a starter shop. So I set up a little pop-up shop, which if you haven't seen, you might have gotten a glimpse of it earlier, but this is the little shopping district. I think Bray helped plan it out and flatten it. And then people have started setting up their little pop-up shops here. So I've put my own over here, just very simple, a little stall. I think it gets the point across. We got bones here, it says bones, and there's bones inside. That makes sense to me, and hopefully 3 diamonds for a stack isn't too much. I've only got one of these barrels full right now, but I feel like that should be good, at least for the time being. But I think with that, we're going to end it here. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have any suggestions for that flagpole or just anything else regarding my base, please go ahead. I'd love to hear it. And I will see you guys in the next one.